Welcome to Curious Truth. I am Kim, your host. Today is about my ancestors' help. A couple of years ago, I was able to find a lost cousin of mine. I had heard about her all my life, but no one in the family knew where she was. My uncle, my dad's brother, died in Vietnam in 1966. When he left for Vietnam, his wife was pregnant with their first child. He was due to come home before the baby was born. So much fighting was going on in Vietnam, and my uncle felt that he needed to stay to help his military brothers. So he re-enlisted. His wife had the baby a month later. He would only receive one picture of his baby girl before being killed. He never made it home to see her, to get to hold her. His wife was devastated. My grandmother would receive one last letter from his wife months later after he died. I wasn't born yet when he died. I wasn't born until 1969, 3 years later. But from the time I can remember, my uncle, his wife, and their baby girl were always talked about. My grandmother wanted to know where she was, how she was doing, and more than anything, she wanted her to know that she was very much loved and wanted. My grandmother passed away in 1992 with this still weighing on her heart to find her son's baby girl, her granddaughter, a piece of her son. Through the years, my aunts, uncles, and grandparents on my dad's side have passed. We all used to be very close. We would get together all the time. In 2021, my mother received a phone call from my other uncle's wife's sister, saying that she had some stuff that was my uncle's that died in Vietnam. This was strange to us. Why would she have his things? How did she know how to get in touch with my mom? We barely saw her when my uncle and aunt were alive. Strange, but we ended up being very grateful that she had gotten in touch with my mother, and my mother was able to retrieve my uncle's things. It was a round envelope that was full of papers, letters from him to his wife and my grandmother, letters from his wife to him, pictures, and his dog tags. When I saw this, my first response was that I have to, somehow, find his daughter, my lost cousin. These things are hers. She should have them. So I started my research to find her, not knowing if I would be able to. I asked out loud, hoping someone, the spirits, would help me find her. I knew her first name, I knew her mother's name, and I had pictures and rewards that my uncle had received. I sat for 2 months researching, trying to find her. I was also, at the time, making family history books for each of my children so they would know their heritage. As I was doing my uncle's section, I looked up his grave site on the internet. When I did, I pulled up pictures of him, messages that people had written him. When I saw the messages again, I said out loud, please let me find her. Hopefully she has left something on here. As I was reading the messages, I came across one that said, if anyone has any information about my father, please contact me through my email. What? Had I found her? My truth is, I believe my relatives that had passed knew I had my uncle's things and knew I was looking for my lost cousin to give them to her to help me find her. I wrote her email down and sent her a message. I know you don't know me, but I am your cousin on your dad's side. I have been looking for you. Please call me. She called me that evening and we set up a time and day to meet. The day we did meet, we spent the whole day together. When she arrived that day, we sat on the couch and I had the envelope in my hand. I told her, these things in here are your dad's belongings. They're yours now. She took out every piece and looked at it. Then I handed her her dad's dog tags. With tears in her eyes, she held them to her heart. We told her that day about her family and about how much she had always been loved and missed, that we had always wondered where she was. She told us what happened when my uncle died in Vietnam. She was devastated. After a while, she remarried. She was told by her new husband that she could not talk about my uncle, and she was not to tell my cousin anything about her father or his family. She was also said her mother ended up going into a deep depression and never got out of the love that she had for my uncle. She died of a broken heart 3 years before I found my cousin. The day my cousin and I met, after answering all her questions, we took her to where her dad was buried and where the rest of the family were buried. What was an amazing discovery was that her mother had been buried one row over. by my uncle's grave. She never knew he was there. All this time, as a little girl, and now as a grown woman with children of her own, she only lived 45 minutes away. It was a beautiful, amazing day that day. I could feel all of our ancestors there with us and their love. I was able to give her a sense of fulfillment and a newfound knowledge of who she was, where she came from, and that she had always been loved and wanted. Would you do anything and everything you could to find someone that had been lost? Could you be that person that would give back to someone else? Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe. See you on the next one.